What is going on, LEGO investors? So today we're going to talk about what is going to happen when the LEGO Star Wars helmet line ends. There's a lot of rumors out right now that the line is ending, and I'm really kind of torn on it. Do I think they're going to end it? No. Why? Because it's so popular and it's making them so much money right now. But it looks like we don't have any new sets coming out. It kind of looks like all we've got is what we're getting. So there is a potential that the helmet line could end. So now, from a investor and business standpoint, I say if they're ending one of their most popular line or sub themes, whatever you want to call it, what's going to replace it? Well, I think Lego found their secret sauce where it's the display factor is the most popular. So, why the helmet line is so popular is because everyone wants to collect them all. It's kind of like Pokemon. They don't just buy one, they buy them all, even the worst helmet, such as the Scout Trooper. The Scout Trooper is probably the worst helmet. It retailed for 50, people picked it up for 35, and it's got a value right now of 68. So honestly, it's pretty decent, but it's doing it's really low right now. And in my opinion, it's the most ugliest helmet out there, but I absolutely love the helmet line. So I'm going to go over my quick thoughts and opinions on this for any newbies and pretty much explain why I love the helmet line. And it's simply for the fact that they're great display pieces and people just collect them all, and we have seen this over and over again. So if you look at the TIE Fighter helmet, it retailed for 60, got a value of 260. Now this is a one-off. I don't recommend using this as a factor when looking at helmets. I tend to tell people to look elsewhere, such as the Red 5 helmet retailed for 70, people picked it up for 43. It's got a value of 80 bucks right now. The Dark Trooper helmet retailed for 70, people picked it up for around 55. It's got a value of 75. So all of the helmets have a history of doing very, very well. If you look at the Stormtrooper, retail for 60, got a value of 150. This was an insane purchase. If you purchase this set, you knocked it out of the park. This is great when investing in Lego. Boba Fett, retailed for 60. A lot of people picked this set up for 55 or $51, and it's got a value of 70. So, full disclosure, I've got 100 of the Boba Fett helmets, 100 of the Red 5 helmets, 100 of the Dark Trooper helmets. The TIE Fighter helmet was my very first purchase in LEGO ever, and that's what kind of sparked me getting into LEGO investing. I was passing through Target, and I believe it was sometime in January, after the year after it retired, and I found 3. For some odd reason, 3 were on the shelf, and I took a gamble. I looked it up on eBay, and I was like, I read this article and people were talking about it. It was the Lego is worth more than gold article, which I absolutely hate, but I just heard so much talk about it. We were talking about it at a work party, and I thought, hey, let me look at this awesome helmet. It was the only one on the shelf, and it was going for about $120, around 140, and I thought to myself, this is insane. It's still in stock. Why is it worth so much money? So I took a gamble, bought those 3, and I sold them, I believe, for around 160 a piece. And it's been history ever since. I've been trying to chase those gains ever since I bought that helmet. I probably will never do that again. And sadly, I kind of wish I didn't sell them because they're just at an insane profit right now. I could have made way more money. And surprisingly, it took me a while to sell them. Not gonna lie. But overall, the helmets that I have purchased have been selling pretty consistently, and I've been earning decent profits on them. So that's why I love the helmet line. I think just the display factor is amazing. And like I said, Lego discovered the secret sauce. You price it at a reasonable price, even if it's not at a reasonable price like $69.99. People do not buy it at that price, so we get awesome sales. And if you purchase it around $50 to $60, that's a great price for a great display factor, and everyone is collecting them all. So even the worst helmet gets purchased in the end, and that's why I go hard on these sets. So now the question is, what's going to replace it, and are they going to be strong enough to fully replace the helmet line? So I've seen a lot of people comment on my channel, which I absolutely appreciate, that they're going to kind of take a break with the helmet line and then introduce some later on. Some people say that they're going to end it completely and then launch it down maybe like 6 to 10 years from now. And there's really debate on whether canceling or ending the helmet line right now will help the prices of these sets or if they will ultimately hurt it. The sound logic that a lot of people make is that we need helmets released to continue to drive up the prices so people are aware of it. If they get discontinued and stop being made, they're kind of just going to fall on the back burner, and it will ultimately hurt our pricing, and there won't be demand for the helmet. So LEGO is releasing a new theme or sub-theme line, whatever you want to call it, and it is a ship line. It's the Starship Collection. So we've got some awesome sets coming out, one of them being the Tantive 4, everyone is familiar with this ship, the Millennium Falcon, the Invisible Hand. These are just phenomenal ships, and right off the bat, I'm kind of concerned because we're getting 3 sets. I think that's a little aggressive. I think it should be more of 2 ships should be released a year, and they can just drag it out a little longer. And the question is, are they going to continue this? So is this just a test to see if these sell consistently and do as well as the helmet line where they could replace the helmet line? Or do you think they're going to do both? Have the helmet line and the Starship Collection. So right now we have the Star Wars Executor Super Star Destroyer. That's been out. A lot of people have been buying this because initially they thought this was going to be the beginning of the theme that's going to replace the helmet line. I've been kind of torn on it and I haven't made a lot of videos on it. I do think it is a solid investment, but ultimately in the end, my personal opinion is the helmet line is going to be a far better and stronger investment. And why is that? Because the display factor. The helmet line, you only get a certain amount of width per helmet, so they're easier to display, and they're known characters, and they're awesome displays. Now with the starships, or ships in general, we'll just say ships, they're awesome, and I definitely think they're awesome builds, they're great display pieces, but it comes down to the width. They're a lot wider than the helmets in my opinion. And that's ultimately going to hurt this theme or sub-theme or lineup, whatever you want to call it. But it all depends on I think this is a test. They're going to take a break on the helmets, see how the Starship line or the ship line does. And if this line does way better or consistently with the helmet, I think they're going to discontinue the helmet line, maybe come out with a new one in maybe 2 to 3 years. Or maybe release one every year going forward. I think it would just be money lost if they stopped it. I don't know. This is why I'm making this video, so I can hear your thoughts and opinions. Do you think they're going to stop the helmet line? And do you think the ship line is going to replace the helmet line? Or do you think we're going to see both at the same time? So first up, let's take a look at how the Executor, the Super Star Destroyer, is doing on eBay so we can kind of get a gauge of the demand and how well it's doing. So I have not purchased any of these. I'm probably going to purchase a ton of these now since they are releasing the new line in 2024 because this goes along with it. And I think this is going to be the one that there's going to be less inventory of when you compare it to these sets and then any future sets, because the first one, a lot of people just will just pass it up and focus on these ones, and then this one will disappear slowly. So let's see, we've got $59, $59, $67, $50, $50, $49, $66. So honestly, not that bad. The retail price is $70. Obviously, no one's going to purchase it for $70. It's going to go on sale at some point. And I'm really, honestly, it's not that bad of a price. It tells me the demand is there. It's a popular set. I think it's an extremely great display. I think whoever built it did an awesome job designing it. And now, as a result of the other ships coming out, this set is going to be a purchase for me. How many will I buy? I'm not sure. I don't think, as you know, I like to buy 100 of each set, but I don't think I'm going to be able to buy 100 of these. I think I'll probably try to buy 30 to 40 just in case if this one goes berserk. And I'll try to go harder on these sets because I think these are ultimately better displays and greater builds in my opinion. So now, why are these all great investments? Because, like I said, the display factor. You've got regular ships that have been coming out, like the Millennium Falcon, which is much larger, for $170. but it comes down to the display factor. When you buy ships that are around $130 to $180, they take up a ton more space, and you can only get maybe 2 or 3 in your living room on a shelf. It's just very hard to display. So like I said, Lego discovered the secret sauce with the helmets, and I think they're doing it with this line. And I think we're going to see another line come out. Obviously, we've got the droid line. That one kind of failed, but I think they're going to continue this style because it performs so well. So please comment down below your opinions on whether you think what you think is going to happen. Are you going hard on these new ship lines? Do you think they're going to discontinue the helmet line? Let's hear it. I really hope everyone comments. I'd like to see a good discussion so other investors can get some great thoughts and opinions. And I definitely appreciate you watching, and I appreciate when you comment, and shout out to all the people that like the video. That really helps the algorithm. But as always, please do your own research, have some fun, make some money.
Video is not financial advice. Any statements made are my views and is for entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. Do your own research before making any financial investments.